Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news.
Hello, good people. Welcome back to Global Happenings Today. Latest as it has to do with River State crisis, the court has decided to act against Fubara's appeal as it has to do with Amawale reinstatement as the Speaker of the River State House of Assembly. This is quite troubling, I must say. But first of all, let me give you full details of the ruling today in the Court of Appeal. Now, in a significant ruling on Thursday, the Court of Appeal in Abuja confirmed Honorable Martin Amawale as the legitimate Speaker of the River State Assembly. We reported that the decision by the three-member panel of justices not only solidifies Amawale's position but also validates his faction's authority within the assembly. The court dismissed an appeal filed by River State Governor Similarly Fubara, who challenged the legitimacy of Amawale's leadership. This ruling reinforces an earlier judgment made by the Federal High Court on January 22nd, which nullified the River State 2024 budget on grounds that it was not presented before a legally recognized assembly. This earlier decision highlighted a critical issue: Governor Fubara's presentation of the budget to a faction of the assembly that the court did not recognize as legitimate. The appellate court emphasized that Governor Fubara undermined his own position by withdrawing a counter affidavit intended to contest the legal action brought by Amawale's faction, who sought judicial acknowledgement of the authority. By retracting this counter affidavit, Fubara effectively weakened his own stand, leaving the Amawale's-led assembly faction with legal grounds to assert their legitimacy. A vocal point in the court's ruling was Fubara's action to present the 2024 River State Appropriation Bill to only 4 out of the Assembly's 31 members. The court found this action in violation of Section 91 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which mandates inclusive representation within legislative proceeding. The River State Assembly had embroiled in division due to strained relationship between Governor Fubara and his predecessor, now Federal Capital Territory Minister Wike. Amid this tension, Governor Fubara disregarded Amawale's faction, which consists of 26 pro-Wike lawmakers, and chose to present the state 800 billion naira 2024 budget to a group of only 4 legislators led by Honorable Edison Ehi, who has declared himself as the factional speaker. The He-led faction declared the pro-Wike lawmakers' seat vacant, claiming that their defection to the All Progressive Congress (APC) from the People Democratic Party warranted their removal. This faction subsequently approved the budget, which Governor Fubara promptly signed into law. However, a peace agreement brokered by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu sought to resolve this conflict, resulting in both Fubara and Wike agreeing to terms that would reinstate Amawale as the speaker. Following this accord, Honorable Edison Ehi withdrew all his filing from the court, abandoned his claim to the Assembly's leadership, and vacated his seat. Despite Governor Fubara's attempt to adhere to the peace term by withdrawing his court submission, the Amawale-led faction did not withdraw its suit entirely. They instead opted to retract only an impeachment notice they had issued against the governor, keeping their legal challenge intact. In his decision, the court led by Justice James Omotosho held that the 2024 budget was invalid because it was presented in contravention of the legal procedure. Justice Omotosho criticized Governor Fubara's action, including the demolition of the River State Assembly complex and the withholding of funds meant for the legislative operation. The court ruled that Fubara's redeployment of the clerk and deputy clerk of the Assembly was also unconstitutional, deeming it an unlawful interference with the Assembly's independence. Justice Omotosho further emphasized that Governor Fubara acted in contempt of a prior court order which had explicitly barred any action that might affect the case outcome. The court noted that unless specific conditions under Section 11 of the 1999 Constitution are met, the National Assembly lacked the authority to intervene in state legislative matter. As part of its judgment, the court voided any action taken by the Rivers Assembly without the participation of the Amawale's-led legislature, including the adoption of the 2024 budget. An injunction was issued preventing Governor Fubara from obstructing the assembly under Amawale's leadership, and the court ordered him to release all funds due to the assembly. The appellate court upheld the Federal High Court's ruling, underscoring the governor's Governor Fubara's retraction of legal challenges amounted to an acknowledgement of Amowole's legitimacy. The court admonished Fubara's inconsistent approach, warning that a party must be consistent in the presentation of its case. A party cannot approbate and reprobate or blow hot and co at the same time. In the final directive, the court imposed a cost of 500,000 naira on Fubara payable to each respondent in the case, further reinforcing the outcome in favor of the Amowoles-led assembly members. Wow, this is this is putting more fire in Rivers State, I must say. And the technicality in the case, which the Justice Amotosho adopted and even the appeal court adopted, seems to silence everything that has to do with the fact that Amowole, the reason why he was kicked out of that position was because they decammed from the People Democratic Party to the APC. And I mean, this is disheartening for us as a people. Well, this is a situation that we cannot totally, respond to, being that this is coming from the appellate court. The big question is, what will Fubara do in this instance, considering the position that they have taken against him? And interestingly, the issue here is that 500,000 naira is meant to be paid by only to the 26 lawmakers, as a cost for, taking the case this far. And I mean, this is disheartening. And I don't know what will happen now if Fubara is going to represent the budget again, which means he needs to go get the 800 billion. If he has expended from it, he needs to go get the money and all of that, which I know at the end of the day, this will build up to the possible impeachment of Fubara. The big question is, should he go on with obeying the court order, which most Nigerians believe that is coming from a pocketed distinct justice, or should he, continue to maintain his position and fight this battle to the end? But the next line of action that is expected to take right now is for him to go to Supreme Court, and we already know who is controlling judiciary in Nigeria. It may not be obvious, but we know that there is a hand behind the curtain, remote controlling everything. And every time you take a case down there, as far as is against that particular person, there's no way on earth that you can win that case, no matter who you are. Everything will be done against you, and that is the situation we are seeing right now. I don't know what will happen in the nearest future, but Fubara needs to go back to his bedroom, and to all those who have stood by him till now, let them sit back and begin to recalculate what to do to ensure that he's not kicked out of that position, because a representation of the budget, number one, means that he has accepted them back, and being that he has accepted them back, they will sit down to deliberate on that budget which he had already presented, which money has been expended, and on the grounds of him spending those monies in that budget, which according to them was not approved by them, they will make demands for him to provide those monies again. If he doesn't provide those monies again, they are going to halt every money that is supposed to come into Rivers State, which will lead to the impeachment of Fubara. I mean, the future is so bleak for Fubara, considering this particular, judgment. But however, let's leave it there.